Good afternoon, friends. Today we are going to see the chapter number 2 of Moments, The Adventure of Toto. Now, first of all, I will give you a little bit introduction. So, this is a humorous and adventurous story of a naughty monkey named Toto. The writer's grandfather brought the monkey from a Tonga driver. The pranks played by Toto have been narrated in an interesting way and make the story a must read for us. Now lesson and explanation I am going to start. So, grandfather brought Toto from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to feeding trough and the monkey looked so out of place there that grandfather decided he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. Okay, now a little bit explanation of this. First of all, what do you mean by feeding trough? Feeding trough means a large container for feeding animals. And tonga means your horse cart. Okay, now explanation. Explanation is the writer's grandfather purchased a monkey named Toto from a Tonga driver by paying 5 rupees to him. The Tonga driver had tried had tied the little red color monkey to feeding trough so that he could not run away. When the writer's grandfather saw the monkey, he had a desire to add him to the collection of animals which he had in his zoo at home. Right? Next para. Toto was a pretty monkey. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep-set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were a pearly white, were often were very often displayed in smiles that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. But his hands looked dried up as though they had been pickled in sun for many years. Yet his fingers were quick and wicked, and his tail while adding to his good looks. Grandfather believed a tail would add to anyone's good looks. Also served as a third hand. He could use it to hang from a branch, and it was capable of scooping up and delicacy that might be out of reach of his hand. Now, some tough words. First of all, Anglo-Indian, that is a person relating to both Britain as well as India. And pickled means food that is preserved in vinegar. Then next, scooping up means lifting. Now explanation. The writer gives a description of Toto. He had bright shiny eyes which were full of mischief. The eyebrows were deeply set on his face. His teeth were like pearls. Many ladies belonging to Anglo-Indian community got scared when they saw his teeth, which were displayed when he smiled. Toto's hands were dry and wrinkled as if they had been dried in the sun like pickled vegetables. He had a long tail. The writer's grandfather thought that the tail added to the good looks of an animal. Toto's tail was like third hand for him. It helped him hang from the branch of tree. He also used it to lift objects which were beyond his hands' reach. Next paragraph. Grandmother always first when grandfather brought home second new bird or animal. So it was decided that Toto's presence should be kept a secret from her until she was in particularly good mood. Grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall where he was tied securely, or so we thought, to peg and fastened into a wall. Okay, peg means a hook. So writer's grandmother was against the grandfather's attitude of bringing new pets, that is birds and animals. So grandfather thought that they would conceal this fact from her until she was in good mood. At that time, they would disclose this to her. The writer and his grandfather secured Toto in little cupboard in the writer's room. In order to be sure that Toto did not escape, they tied him to hook in the wall. Next, a few hours later, when grandfather father and I came back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from its socket, and my school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds. I wondered what grandmother would say, but grandfather did not worry. He seemed pleased with Toto's performance. Now, ornamental means decorative, naked means uncovered, wrenched means broke, socket means attachment, shards means cut into thin slices. Now try to understand that the writer and his grandfather went to Toto after a few hours. The sight was shocking. Toto had torn the decorative wallpaper, he had broken the hook, and had escaped from his binding. Also, he tore the writer's blazer into thin pieces. Next. "He is clever," said grandfather. "Given time, I am sure he could have tied the torn pieces of your blazer into rope and made his escape from the window." So the grandfather was quite delighted to see Toto's adventure. He felt that Toto was very clever. He said that if they would have given him more time, he would have tied the thin piece of writer's stone blazer into rope and would have escaped out of the window. Next. His presence in the house still a secret, Toto was now transferred to a big cage in servant quarters where a number of grandfather's pets live very sociably together, a tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet goat. But the monkey would not allow any of his companions to sleep at night. So grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun next day, to collect his pension in Saranpur, decided to take him along. Now, sociably means in a friendly manner. Toto was shifted to the servant quarter. He was put in the cage. He would live with the other pets in grandfather's zoo. The zoo comprised of tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a squirrel, and writer's pet goat. Toto was very mischievous. He did not let animals sleep at night. The writer's grandfather had to leave for Saranpur the next day, so he decided to take him along as he was unmanageable. Unmanageable का मतलब क्या होता है? वो किसी के साथ भी रुकने वाले में से नहीं है. ठीक है? And next, unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterwards. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. This, with some straw at the bottom, became his new abode. When the bag was closed, there was no escape. Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air, an exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on Dehradun railway platform. Now, abode means one new home. So, writer was disappointed as he could not accompany his grandfather and Toto on that trip. His grandfather narrated the happenings of trip to him later. He had got a special bag for Toto. It was made of strong material canvas. He placed some dry grass at bottom of the bag. On the trip, the bag would be Toto's home as he would live in it. The bag had a zipper on top of it. The writer's grandfather assured that when the bag was closed, Toto would not be able to escape out of it. Neither could he come out of the opening as it was closed with a zipper, nor could it bite the strong canvas material in order to run away. Still, Toto made unsuccessful attempts to come out of the bag. Due to this, many times the bag would roll on the floor or it would certainly jump in the air. These movements were noticed by the people on railway station and the made them curious to know what was inside the bag. Next, Toto remained in the bag as far as Saranpur, but while grandfather was producing his ticket at railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of bag and gave ticket collector a wide grin. Now, turnstile. Turnstile means a mechanical gate consisting of revolving horizontal arm fixed to a vertical post, allowing only one person at a time to pass through. So Toto remained secure in grandfather's bed till Saharanpur. At Saharanpur railway station, the writer's grandfather was taking out his ticket to cross the turnstile. At that time, Toto picked out of the bag and smiled at ticket collector. Next, the poor man was taken aback, but with the great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You will have to pay for it accordingly." So annoyance means to anger on someone. So the ticket collector was astonished to see a monkey in grandfather's bag. He recovered quickly and asked grandfather to pay the ticket for for monkey for traveling with a dog. Okay. So in vain did grandfather take Toto out of bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as quadruped. Toto was classified a dog by ticket collector and 3 rupees was the sum hand over as his fare. Now in vain means an unsuccessful attempt. Quadruped means an animal which has 4 feet. Fair means ticket price. So grandfather was unsuccessful in explaining to ticket collector that Toto was a monkey and not dog. He insisted that Toto was not even an animal with 4 feet. But ticket collector was firm that Toto fell in the category of dogs. Grandfather had to pay rupees 3 for Toto's ticket. Next. Then grandfather, just to get his own bag, took from his pocket our pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this since you charge for all animals?" So to get his own bag means it is an idiom to take revenge. So grandfather was disappointed and in order to take revenge from ticket collector, he took out his pet tortoise from his pocket. He asked if he was supposed to buy a ticket for it as well. The ticket collector looked closely at Tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look, and said, "No charge, it is not a dog." So, prodded means push. The ticket collector, the ticket collector took a close look at the tortoise, pushed it slightly, and announced that grandfather was not required to buy a ticket for it, as it did not fall in the category of a dog. Now, when Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in stable where he had for a companion the family donkey Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. Now try to understand this. Stable. Stable means building set apart and adapted for keeping horses. Then halter, a strap or a loop placed around the head of a horse or other animal used for leading or tethering it. Now explanation. The writer's grandmother finally came to know Toto's presence in the house. She allotted him space in stable along with the family donkey Nana. On the first night in the stable, grandfather visited Toto. He found Nana restless, pulling its rope in order to stay away from the heap of hay. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. He had fastened onto her long ears with his sharp little teeth. The haunches means back. So grandfather hit Nana on back in order to stop it. Nana jumped back with a jerk and Toto was dragged along with her. Next. तो टोटो बहुत ही mischievous था. Toto and Nana never became friends. So say they were never ever friends. Then a great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into bath. First one foot, then other, as he had seen me doing, until he was into the water up to his neck. Once comfortable, Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hand or feet and rub himself all over. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, Toto's feelings would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his bath. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. So now explanation. In the winter season, Toto enjoyed having warm bath. He would pretend to be selfish and before starting his bath, he would check the temperature of the water. He would copy the writer and step into the tub one foot at a time. Finally, he would sit in the water with his face out of it. Then he would rub himself with a soap. When the water became cold, he would run out of it to sorry he would run out of it to the stove in the kitchen in order to dry himself. Toto get annoyed if he was laughed upon. He would get hurt and then refuse to take bath. The writer recollects an incident when Toto had almost boiled himself. वो क्या है ये देखेंगे हम लोग अभी. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. Finding the water just warm enough for bath, he got in, with his head sticking out from the open kettle. This was just fine for a while, until the water began to boil. Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him half boiled out of the kettle. Hauled him means pulled him out. So in large kettle, water was boiling on stove. Toto climbed up to the stove and removed the lid from it. He felt that water was warm enough for him to take bath. He entered the kettle with his head out of it. When the water started boiling, it became hot. It became hot for Toto. So he thought of coming out of the kettle, but as the temperature outside was cold for him, he stayed in. Toto kept on jumping. Hopping means jumping in the kettle for a while. It was when the writer's grandmother arrived that she took the half-boiled monkey out of the kettle. If there is a part of brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. He was always tearing things to pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. So he was so mischievous that if there is a part in our brain that governs our ability to create mischief, then that part in Toto's brain was highly developed, as he had great capacity to do mischief. He was always busy doing mischief. Whenever the writer's aunts passed him, he tried to tear their dresses. Now, next, one day at lunch table, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. My grandmother screamed and Toto threw a plate at her. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. We found him in the branch of jackfruit tree, the dish still in his arms. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And then, in order to spite grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with her delight when it broke into 100 pieces. Now, what do you mean by word spite? Spite means a desire to hurt, annoy, or offend someone. And chattered, the sound made by monkey. Now try to understand this. The writer recollects another incident when Toto created a lot of mischief. At lunchtime, a dish of rice was placed on the dining table. When the family reached to eat, they found Toto eating it. The writer's grandmother screamed at Toto, and in response, he threw a plate at her. When the when her aunt tried to catch Toto, he threw a glass of water in their face. When the grandfather arrived, Toto left the place through a window with the dish of rice along with him. Toto remained out of entire remained out the entire afternoon. He sat on a branch of a jackfruit tree, determined to eat all the rice. As the grandmother had screamed on him, he wanted to annoy her, means to take revenge on her further, and so after eating rice he threw the dish. It broke into several pieces. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. Even grandfather realized that we were not well to do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. So grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. So finally grandfather realized that Toto was not suitable to be kept at home. They could not afford the frequent losses that he gave them. He tore clothes, curtains, wallpapers, and broke dishes. So the grandfather sold Toto back to the same Tonga driver for sum of 3 rupees. Written by Ruskin Bond. That's the end of our chapter number 2. Thank you very much.